Third, I'm Julian Warwicker. Welcome to BBC Newsroom Live. I'm just looking at a line coming out of this UKIP leadership candidate announcement. We've just heard that an NEC panel, this is a statement from their press office, sat yesterday afternoon, as we know, to determine the eligibility of those that submitted nomination papers to stand. And following their deliberations and a vote on the matter within the NEC, these are the names who have been nominated. Councillor Bill Etheridge, MEP Diane James, MEP Elizabeth Jones, Jonathan Armott, MEP, and Councillor Lisa Duffy Philip Broughton. And by a clear majority of NEC members, Stephen Woolfe, MEP's application was considered to be ineligible as a result of a late submission, and as such he did not meet the eligibility criteria. His membership of the party, they say, was not in question. And there is Stephen Woolfe, and as you'll be aware, because of the conversations that we were having earlier on, and you may well have read things to this effect, there has been a question mark over Stephen Woolfe emerging on this list. It's now clear that he has not. And what will therefore be interesting to talk about is the consequences of that. Let's bring in Tom Bateman, our political correspondent, who's outside those UKIP headquarters. So Stephen Woolfe not on the list, Tom?
Absolutely, and that's all following those vetting discussions that took place in this building with the ruling executive committee of UKIP over the last 48 hours or so. So what this now means, I think, is it opens up a whole new schism in UKIP, because the outgoing leader, Nigel Farage, I think will now perhaps go to the party at large to call an emergency meeting to try and heap pressure on those people, the executive committee panel, who he described very recently as total amateurs, people who just weren't up to the job, because Mr Woolfe was seen very much as the natural successor to Nigel Farage, a key ally of his, who would have kept the party going in a similar mould to Mr Farage when he leaves the party as leader. So he is off the list, as you say. That is confirmed, and all because the executive committee say here because of the fact that he got his nomination papers in late. Remember, we were reporting that he clicked on the website, but he said the nomination form didn't go through, and as a result it was 17 minutes late or so. He described it as a computer says no moment. Now, he has not ruled out the possibility of legal action against that decision. He was asked about it on the radio on Monday, and said that if he was kept off the list, that legal action he could remain open to him. He hoped he wouldn't have to do so, but obviously we are in that position now.
A list of 6, of course, as I mentioned, who have been put forward. What strikes you about those 6?
Well, I think the really interesting thing there is that Diane James is on that list. She's perhaps one of the highest profile people within UKIP once you get beyond Nigel Farage. Many people have said, well, this is part of the problem of the party, that it was kind of one-man band party. Now, she has been a fairly prominent person. She's the deputy chair of the party. It hadn't been clear whether or not she would be on the slate, whether she would be running in this race at all. In the last 24 hours it became perhaps a bit clearer that she might be, with some hints from her, but we didn't know literally until just now that there would be confirmation she is on that. So I think she suddenly becomes the clear front runner, with Mr Woolfe out of the running, up against other MEPs and councillors who are much less known among the 50,000 or so party members. But as I say, I think what we have to watch for now is what those around Stephen Woolfe are going to do, those around Nigel Farage are going to do. It is my understanding that he may be prepared to call an extraordinary meeting, an emergency meeting of the party membership, to try and put pressure on the executive committee after its decision today. OK, well, no doubt you'll look out for that reaction, as will we, Tom. Thank you very much, Tom Bateman there in Westminster.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.